Welcome to the Roger Report Live on the entertainment side. And I just got through checking out the movie from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. Gotta say, this was an excellent movie, y'all. This was an excellent movie. Um, First action film on this channel that I'm reviewing, just plain good. Okay, just plain good. You would think, and I know there's a concern that people are going to have that they might lose a step with it being from the world of John Wick, but not being a John Wick movie. I can say they didn't lose too much of a step. Now, the thing is, she was not John Wick. She was just a character in the John Wick universe, but she was a great character. Okay, she meaning Eve. Is the protagonist of this film who has issues with the chancellor himself. Okay, probably not the best person to have an issue with, but she has issues with the chancellor. Now, the chancellor at this particular film is quite the character, and we get to see some old favorites again. Winston Scott, played by Ian McShane, made an appearance. Lance Reddick came in as Sharon, I believe his name is pronounced. So we get to see some old favorites. Of course, Keanu Reeves makes an appearance as John Wick, the Baba Yaga himself, and it was dope, y'all. It was plain dope. Okay, good film with a great story. There's things going on with children, and you got these moral ideas of, do you force a child to go into this world of hitmen, this world of these certain type of rules that the average person is just not ready for? Or should a child have a chance to live as a child, and think about regular kid concerns? Should this be what a child has to think about? But what if a child is born to people that's already attached to this world? And what if their child is born to people who are important people in this world? So this film takes us on a journey, y'all, where it ain't just one killer. No, it's not just two. And you expect more than that in the John Wick universe. But the way you see the killers come in, y'all, everybody in the film was not about playing. A lot of kids involved, but nobody playing. I guess technically there's a little small scene where you can see a kid playing technically, but yeah, this movie was not for play. People were getting upset. You have chance meeting with people, people remembering things. John Wick actually gets called upon, so we get to see the Baba Yaga himself execute a hit. We get to see that as part of the film. you know, Great thing to see. We see how John Wick got his reputation. It carries out. Now, the thing is, there's some major entities happening. There's different factions of people. There's a war that could happen if things don't go right. And sometimes you got to kill certain people just to stave off a war. Hey, it's a movie about hitmen. Somebody getting killed. It just is what it is. But of course, this channel ain't for children. So if you listen to this, you should have your parents' permission, because I ain't making content specifically geared toward the children. This is for adults, y'all. And they got on. It got fresh. It got funky. It was nice to see how people had to abide by certain rules. You come to certain places, and there's peace at the Continental. And if you break rules, there are consequences, which was steady being enforced in this particular film. And the way they keep alluding and showing people who have to deal with the consequences of their action, it brings you right back into this world, which is an enjoyable world in the make believe. It's definitely an enjoyable world in the make believe. The talent was good. The storyline that develops in this was a fantastic one. Of course, they left more room for great sequels to happen. Can great sequels happen? Yes. And I know some guys will have a concern. Well, the movie's about a woman. Did they do right by the woman to make her a good action star? Because some people do have legitimate concerns about a lot of films being pushed where the woman is the protagonist or the lead character. But they did actually do it in a way where they make this believable. You didn't have some mistakes that certain films make, where they have a woman not any superpowers or anything like that, just a regular woman, and she's able to overpower dudes, and it just seemed kind of phony. But they didn't do that in this one. This one, they actually took great care of the character itself, showed how she can make the moves she's making, the decisions she makes, what she has to use to her advantage, how she has to deal with her disadvantages. So they laid out a totally great storyline to make it a believable film, which I got to give them props for that. And certain situations she's going to come across in this film, which will have you make some very tough decisions. So I think this is a good film where you have legacies build, you have legacies burned, possibly very much destroyed. You have people doing good things, but because of certain situations, sometimes even it fits that saying, "No good deed goes unpunished." And in the world of John Wick, that's very true. That no good deed is gonna go unpunished, and you got to deal with what you got to deal with in this world. So, fantastic movie, well put together, one of the strongest films of the year. I'm absolutely sure of. And this is my first review on this particular channel, so I'm just going to leave it at that. One of the strongest movies that I believe is going to come out this year. Very, very strong action film. I definitely recommend everybody go see it. I don't know why you wouldn't want to see it. They gave you everything that you wanted in a John Wick film. And I actually want to see this franchise carry on. The way they set this story up in this particular character, there's a few things they could do. With this character and then other characters they bring in who could be main characters in other movies. So the way they could spin off this entire universe is actually pretty fantastic, y'all. And you got a bunch of folks in here that just ain't about playing because they kill us, y'all, by profession. So I hope you go see it. Hope you enjoy the film. If you like this type of content, definitely make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping stuff like this on the daily, and I will see y'all next time around. I'm Roger, I'm right, and I'm out.